Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT, and tonight we're bringing you an extra streamed event. We have Project Cars 2, and it is the Beyond Blue Camaro Carnage Cup, and it is because we reached our first goal for the Beyond Blue fundraising. We reached $350, so as promised, we're going to be delivering a no-rules race, and tonight we have 3 rounds. First race will be at Dubai Autodrome GP, the second race will be Circuit of the Americas, and the final round is Ruapunja Park GP. So the first session will be heading over into 10 minutes of practice, and then a 5-minute sprint race, and then the full rules removed. They can cut track as much as they like. That's going to be a lot of carnage, a lot of cheating. And then as we're heading to a short break, then have a second session, and then that's 5-minute practice at Circuit of the Americas. The sprint race is 5 laps, and then for the third race tonight, we'll be heading to Ruapunja Park GP. It's another 5-minute practice, and then the race is 5 laps as well. They're heading over to the United Arab Emirates for the Dubai Autodrome GP. The track length is 5.33 kilometres, there is 16 turns. However, that track length is going to be much shorter if the drivers have been gauging just where they can cut the best on this track. There's a fair few corners that you can well and truly cut off, and I'm sure there'll be a fair few extra Ks ran as well, as they're going to be barging each other off track. Yeah, there'll be a spot there for you, cool boy. I got 14 cars out on track at the moment. There's space for a couple more drivers. And a fair bit of damage shown on Gallen's car already. We have changed a bit of the settings, and there's already a bit of a friendly tap to Philly's car. I'm not sure who that was that gave him the quick tap. He's just being pushed off track again. Hasn't even gotten through turn 1 in the practice session, and he's already in dramas. Oh, we just had a disqualification. Not sure what happened there. The drivers are all playing a demolition derby at the moment. We'll have a Gallen jumping back in. Okay, we should not be able to be issuing a DQ, strangely enough, unless he was actually driving the wrong way. I think that's the only time it actually will disqualify a car. And we're currently on the roof of his car. Driver's not even out on a full out lap. Yep, you can see Philly making a big hit straight into the side of another car. That's huge carnage to the tail end of DG's car. Gallen's now back in again. You can see a car flying up along that back straight. That's a pretty solid hit. Balaki's car looking pretty beaten up. And the cars they are driving is the 69 Camaro Trans Am. And Kakadu in a lovely silver car, number 23. Gallen in yellow car, number 78. We're in number 26. Oh, there's a car just goes flying across the screen. Oh, there's a head-on collision, and parts of that car go flying everywhere. DG just narrowly avoids, I think that was Gallen's. Yeah, cool boy. I did send an invite to you, so it'll be there for you to be able to join in anytime during the night. Simo Simsel in car number 75. Bad Nate in yellow number 77. And we have a newcomer tonight, Sergeant Seaway, joining up with us just this afternoon. Making his debut on the Apex broadcasting in the No Rules race. And we have Sami. Looks like he's hiding. Oh, that's a solid hit. It is just peeking there, waiting for a car to come around and cut that corner. And we have Bertie 1035. Is made his way back across. You would recognise him from his iRacing. He does race with us on Monday nights. It's Robbie Bradbury, and he has been on our Project Cars 2 races quite some time ago. So he's dusted off the controller to get back on for a race with us tonight and cause some absolute carnage. We have Dirty Monkey car number 11, DK Russian car number 9, starting to do a few burnouts. Blarkey also doing the same. It'd be interesting to see just how Gallen actually did get disqualified, considering the game is actually got all rules removed. That is quite interesting to see. You can see we're hunting down a car, and these cars are a big powerhouse in that tail end. They love to get that tail loose, rake to drift. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a punt here, or is he going to swipe him into the curb? That's a big hit. Slams him into that wall down pit straight. Those 5 minutes of practice for the guys to test out those track limits, for them to be able to cut the track enough, and it's going to be more so once we get to Ruapunya Park, as there is a big section of the infield, and there's even a tiny gap in between the pit straight that you could possibly, well, some drivers may actually consider taking to get out there and doing a shorter lap, but the drivers will actually have to find the markers for at the end of each sector for the lap to count, so they do actually have to cross each sector. Kakadu taking out some braking markers. Oh, that's a solid head-on. Is flown up in the air and then lands on all four. I think that may, I'm not sure whose card that was. Is that Bad Nate's? Trying to learn all the new drivers' cars. I wonder if it's been Dirty Monkeys chasing down, I think that is Gallen. We actually do have a couple of times on the board. The 2:03. That's a actually pretty quick time. I think with roughly the testing, it's about 2 minutes with a solid, good run, cutting the track with no spin outs or any contact. It'll be interesting to see if any drivers decide to use pit lane to go a little bit quicker as well, as they can't get disqualified for speeding down pits. Oh, 157 for Dirty Monkey. He's showing some very good pace and good control with the Camaro. His car looking well beat up. The damage is only visual. We were going to run full damage with mechanical failures, but just to encourage a lot more smashing, we've just put it to visual only, so at least the drivers can make their way back around and complete the race. However, if we reach our next stretch goal for the Beyond Blue fundraising, that means once we've reached the $450 mark, we will be holding a demolition derby. So we'll have several races where we'll have similar cars to this, and it will be a last car standing with full damage and mechanical failures. It's going to be pretty exciting to see. Now look, it's that into a big broad slide straight through the bales. Sheriff Ruse is doing some donuts up there if he's turning that car back around after a spin. DDG's getting the car up on the two wheels, coming down into the pits. Testing out just how pit lane can go. Pit limit's usually 59 kilometres, so he's now doing 180, 190 down pit lane. He's going to shunt a car coming out of the exit. Oh no, he's just brought the car back in. He did get disqualified, so going too quick down pit lane must disqualify still. That is quite interesting. have that issue during the course of the race, which is very weird. Hopefully DG get back into the session in time. He hasn't left, he might be able to get back in. If that is the case, we may even remove some practice sessions and just have a couple of races instead. Larky doing a few donuts, making that Camaro up nicely. DK in matching team colours to Velarki. Gets into a nice broad slide, taking out that braking marker. We've had 6 cars get a lap time in. 30 seconds and we'll be heading over into the race. Just making some wall contact. Mikey Mike finding a nice shortcut along the end of Sector 1. As practice is complete. Drivers haven't got used to how the car's handling. Just where those shortcuts may be on the track, so they can utilise that to their advantage coming into the race. Can hear some screaming going on from some tyres. He's parked that car up, Simo's parked on the side of the road. Touch of seaweed. And the car ain't going to do a few donuts as well. Pulls that rear up nicely. Kakadu's car looking well smashed. Windscreen's taken a solid hit. And he is missing that bonnet. Not sure if the boot is also missing. These cars can take quite a beating. Yes, the boot's missing. There's debris going all the way down. Oh, Simo's had a freeze. That's why Simo has got stuck. I'll be back in for the next race. If we need to, we can always rerun a session. There's 50 seconds left for drivers head over back into the pits. And Gallon's in the chat. How is the DQ actually still getting you and DG, Gallon? It's quite interesting that the game is still actually issuing a disqualification in practice session. Bad Nate's car not looking too beaten. Missing those panels, a few scrapes. It's not too smashed up. Yes, Simo's frozen in there. Really sags out his game. Marky Mark's still out on track. Not sure if that's an hour driving the car. It's probably quite likely. He's crossed the line from the looks of things. He's brought it back into the pits now. There's only a couple. There may be a little bit of a hangover with the countdown. There may be some server issues going on. The countdown has finished. The session should have actually gone over into the race now. Yeah, I think it might be hanging on with yours frozen, Simo. You can always rerun this race if need be as well if there's issues, because we've had DG drop out. There we go, yep, that's just fixed it. So there was a hang on. And there's results for lap times. Dirty Monkey is setting a 1:57 in that practice, so it'll be interesting to see how they go getting into the race and doing the same thing. We'll rerun this race again, Simo, once the 5 laps are done, then we can get back in. I'm sure the guys will be more than keen to rerun. And to keep an eye out for which drivers will be cluey to what they can do. There's no jump start rules, so they do not actually have to wait for the lights to go green. So we could see some cars darting up, and it is random grid. Once all the drivers hit that ready button, we'll be good to go for the race. Try and make ourselves familiar with some of the colours. Drivers are all ready to go. The game will sync. Lights are counting down. Oh, we've got someone going backwards. He's now up on the bonnet. Several drivers are already gone for it. There's a few reversing going on. He's actually just driven over the car backwards and being rolled over. There's lots of pushing and shoving down. Pit straight, they're going for it. There's car flipping down the straight now. Dirty Monkey really gets away quite quickly in this huge hit. I think that was, We're up to a big hit, and DG. DG's up on 2 wheels. He's just dropped back down. There's a few drivers still yet to come. They're helping cars get off their roof. I think that's Birdie's car that was on the roof. These guys are struggling to even get to turn 1. Dirty Monkey's cut that corner nicely. Looks for a great shortcut. BK looking to chase him down. Dirty's getting away very quickly. He's had a fantastic start, having an advantage of being out the front end without being reversed into at the light countdown. Philly's in 3rd position trying to catch up. We have Sergeant Seaweed in 4th. He's alongside of Philly Manili. No, sorry, it's not Philly Manili. That is Weira. They've just cut the corner, gone out wide. They both hit the wall themselves, and he's actually driven up onto the safety barrier. He's rolled onto the roof. There's a big hit. That was, is that Marky Mark? And DG. That was a big hit. He's flipped him all the way around on the corner. Mark's now just gotten back out. Simo's managed to get back into the session. Big jump, finding some air around the shortcut of that corner. Gallen's going the wrong way down the track. He's now actually decided to turn around and drive in reverse. So he's going to be coming head on down. That's into Dirty Monkey. He's absolutely destroyed him, flipping him over and a hit again. That's complete chaos on pit straight. I think that is DK that's just been turned around as well. It's complete carnage. It is definitely the Camaro Carnage Cup. They're absolutely having a ball out there, destroyingly takes out the brake marker. It's into 1,000 pieces as he makes that corner, cuts through the track. And look, he has DK chasing him down. Where is he going to be in trouble? DK's looking to line him up, except he's ran out very wide. The shortcut for this is actually to the right there, where it did find that line. Where it A little bit of oversteer coming out, but makes up for it as DK tries to get around, shoves him and turns him around, but they've both been spun. Marky Mark's now coming up and he's going to plough into Wirra. That's also spun him around. Wirra now doing wheel stands. Also getting hit by DG. Dirty still in the lead. He's on lap 2. Birdie moves up into position 2. He was coming last. He was on his roof, only just meters up from the starting line. However, now in position 2, he's getting some good control of that car. He's got a bit of an exhaust hanging off down the side. Marky Mark moves up into position 2 as he gets airborne around DK and Wirra. DG now moves up into position 4. Got some cars closing in. Well, it's a solid hit. Bad Nate slams into Sami. Pushes him into the bales. There's now debris all over the side of the track. Oh no, he's just had to retire the car out. He's brought it back into the pits. There's no mechanical failures, so the cars will still be able to keep driving. Bad Nate in 9th position. Billy moves up into position 9. I think that's DG's car just in behind him. Sergeant Seaweed starting to catch up to Bad Nate. I think that is Philly Middle, it's closing him very quickly behind him. Bad Nate currently on lap 2. But he's just started lap 3. Oh, he's just misjudged that corner. Hoping that the section of track was a bit of a shortcut. He's missed that as well, hitting the wall. There's 12 cars remaining. Dirty is still flying out front, starting to lap some cars. Cuts that turn 1. Let's see how much of a handful these cars are. This is where they've been getting airborne as well. Straight into a loose spin, making things difficult to try and see out of the broken windscreen. Bad Nate's just been spun out. We're still battling it out with DK. The standings board's going haywire. We're confusing the game quite significantly with the cars' positions. It doesn't know who's where. It's swapping around. Nice jump by DG. He's in 5th position. We're still hunting down DK, and I think that's Gallon that's just had a head-on, clipping Wirra into a roll. He's now on his roof. Hopefully he's got a reset button. If he doesn't, he's gonna be stuck. Dirty Monkey's still leading the charge. However, he's got a few cars coming at him the wrong way. I'm not sure whose car that is. Is that, I think, a Sergeant's car. Dirty completely avoids him. Dirty's going for the win. He's managed to escape a fair bit of chaos. He did get collected by Gallon as he decided to turn around and go straight at back on pit straight. Sergeant Seaweed looking to catch some ground up. He could take out our race leader and allow some of the other drivers to catch up. He may be able to slam in the wall and pin him in pretty well. And if you're joining us for the stream, don't forget to hit that follow button and do say hello in the chat. Tonight is our special event for Project Cars. Our league has very strict rules for track etiquette and heavy penalties usually given. So this is not the usual course of our racing. It is solely because we've reached our first goal of our fundraising as part of the Beyond Blue fundraising with the Beyond Blue Formula V Championship that we're doing on iRacing for Monday nights. So be sure to check out the link below, fundraise.beyondblue.org.au/Apex Esports League. You can donate to Beyond Blue from there. That doesn't go to our accounts or anything, that's all linked up to Beyond Blue's website. That is just solely to track how we are going with fundraising from our league. So we do appreciate all the support we're getting for Beyond Blue. Bertie in position 2. Gets a nice wide line down through the final corner. Cuts that nicely, runs out fairly wide. Avoids a car going in the wrong direction. BK is in position 3. I think there may have been a car up in pit lane. Marky in position 4. BJ's just spun around. I think that was just where the jump is, where we are on board with Dirty going for the jump and hitting the kitty litter, putting into a spin. Kakadez in position 6. He's a little bit lonesome at the moment. Sergeant Seaweed just decided to go the wrong way and he's taken out a car. I think that may be Dirty Monkey. No, it's not Dirty Monkey. Who's in the black car for that one? Billy's in the wall at the moment. Can't tell who's in that other orange car. There was a car well and truly flipped over. Billy Millie looking to find some good shortcuts to catch back up. There's a rolled over car. Maybe Balaki's car, no. Yeah, it was Balaki that was just rolled over. We're on lap 5, Dirty Monkey is in the lead. Gets that car airborne. There's charges down through those bales. We're scattered all through the track. This is the final corner. Does he have anyone coming down the wrong way to contend with? That looks like a clear run down pit straight. Crosses the line as he gets a cheer. Birdie comes in second position. And there is cool down laps so they can still have some issues. Gives him a friendly tap down the back of turn 1. DK crosses on the podium, position 3. Marky Mark still coming up in position 4. Oh, big hit. That was between DK and I think that was Gallen's car. Gallen's in the pits. Still driving through pits. Coming back out onto pit straight. Go and give a few nudges to some of the other drivers. There's 80 seconds for drivers to get last laps, or at least to still drive around, destroy each other as much as possible. That's a big hit. The car is flipped. Back bit of chrome just dangling on. Just gets clipped on pit straight. Balaki duck. Oh, he's just reset the car. Delaney putting on a nice burnout. Sergeant Seaweed looking to find his way back around to complete the lap. Bad Nate coming up onto the final corner. Let's see who he hits. There's a car actually stuck. Oh, it's actually ghosted. It's Birdie's car. It's actually stuck. Okay. Doing some burnouts as he gets hit. He's now being dragged around on the roof of another car. And there we have the results for our first race. We'll probably be jumping back in and doing that one again. So we will be having a brief break while we go back in and set that back up. We'll head straight into the race, so we won't have that practice session, and then we'll gear up ready to head over into the second race. Dirty Monkey, really quick out there, 1:59. Also Bertie on 1:58, so still getting some very good times. And then usually seeing in these cars under normal track conditions, looking at around probably 2 minutes 10, 2 minutes 15. So that's just how much you can actually cut on the track. So it's quite interesting to see. So we'll be back in just a moment as we head off and prepare for the session to be reloaded, and we'll have Black Eye Warrior joining us again and DJ to get this DQ'd. So, and we may even change cars. We'll have a look. So stay tuned and we'll be back in a moment. And we're back. We've got the technical issues with Simo sorted. His was frozen and it was hanging the game over. In the practice, we're heading just straight back into the race. We've also had Blakai Warrior be able to join in. So we've got a couple extra cars on track, and we also had DG who got disqualified somehow in the practice session. There's going to be a few more cars on track to cause some havoc. And then after this race, we will head back into our proper routine of getting into round 2. And that will be at Circuit of the Americas. We've got 15 cars now out there. We saw several cars opting to use reverse gear to start the race, slamming right back into their opponents at the start before taking off. Even some cars reversing up over the other cars. And several cars on their roof before they've even made it halfway up pit straight. And it's random grid placements as well. Oh, we're just disconnected. That's pretty strange. It's muted the audio for the chat for the drivers. We haven't had the in-game chat actually do that for quite a while. Maybe because we've skipped the practice session. Not sure why it's done that, Gal, or how it's muted us. And we have DK out front and Asami to lead. Will they just take off, or will they give a quick hit to Mark and Dirty behind them? And Sargent down the back end. Starting from the back end. Probably actually a pretty safe place to be down the back end for these starts. The drivers haven't hit the ready button, so they've missed the spot. They're already going for it and going every which way. They've hit everywhere before the lights even being green. Not sure whose car that is. It's just sitting there at the front end. Kakadu and Sami missing the start. Dirty Monkey leads a charge again. Yeah, Skiddy, we can definitely send you an invite. After these 5 laps, we'll be doing a Circuit of the Americas. That's a big broad slide by Philly Manili. But he's overshot the corner, spun around. I think that's bad, Nate. No, sorry, that is not bad, Nate. Blakai has joined us. He's in the blue and red car. Gallen moves up into position 3. He was going the wrong way on lap 1 in the first race. Larky getting away after having some contact with DK Rush. DK just spun out. Not sure if he's going wrong way down the track now. No, there goes Bertie flying up along the inside of him. Exceeding that track. That car seems to be not going as quick as it could be. Looks like Philly's just been knocked onto his roof. Timo being courteous and pushing him back onto the track. Rolls him back over on all 4 tyres. Yeah, that's right, Mick. You can cut every corner at Coda. It's going to be a lot of fun. Billy and I'm not sure who that is. It's not DJ. It's Simo in the black car. That's right. We didn't get to see him in the race. They're doing some circle work around each other. Marky Mark out in front, destroys the first brake marker. Not that they're of any use for this race at all anyway. Good run, cuts those corners, straight up along through. Larky's stopped on track. What he's doing, if he's going to be waiting for someone, that's a hit from Philly. Philly's lined him up clean onto his door. DK Rush coming up from behind as well. Looks like Balarki's lining him up as well. And contact again. DK flips Philly onto his roof again. I think Philly spent most of the race on his roof. At least his pit crew doesn't have to worry about tyres for the course of the race. They only have to worry about all the panels that he's leaving around the rest of the track. Sergeant Seaweed in third position. We're in lap 2. Opening laps was a 2:02. It was a pretty quick lap for Mark. Dirty did just get up ahead for a brief moment. Looked like Dirty may have actually not been fully cutting. Oh, Mark just narrowly avoids Balarki. He's sitting there praying on cars to come around. DK cuts nicely. We're a common thing for Philly. Mike does a 159. Dirty not too far behind, a 158. He's chasing him down. If he can make the most of the lap, try and cut those corners a little bit more, he might be able to close that gap in and take Mark out to steal away the lead. We have Gallen and Simo, who's just making some contact. Not sure where Gallen's going. He's looking for a complete shortcut there. He's hoping that actual section of track must have linked up. It's actually the different variation of the track. Wherever it is actually walled off, it would have been a pretty good shortcut to have done. He's getting a little bit loose. Mark's still trying to catch up to Dirty. Oh, sorry, it was actually the other way around. He has actually managed to do it. So Mark spun out. Philly's still on his roof. He's still stuck on his roof. So Philly's in the chat. He's got plenty of time. But he's just sitting there waiting for a mate at the moment. Doesn't have a reset button. He's going to have to hope someone is courtesy enough in. There we go. I think it's Balark. No, it's DK's come up to try and give him a hand to flip him back onto his wheels. Oh, he's on his wheels. Philly can get on his way again. DK still tries to take him out for another hit again after helping him back onto his tyres. Bits of debris left everywhere. Well, he's going to get tapped here. Look out. I think that's Gallen giving him a good shove. No, it wasn't Gallen. Who's in the other yellow car? That was bad, Nate. He gives DG a ramp. Flips him up. He's almost going to give him a lift and carry him around for a lap. G goes for the flip spin to get the car back around. A little bit of debris left behind from his car. Dirty Monkey coming up to some lap cars. And it looks like Philly going the wrong way around. Philly he was going the wrong way. He's starting to turn back around and chase down. I think that's Dirty's car. I might even know it was Mark's car that he was making contact with, so he's messing with the race leaders, trying to hamper them. The next car is Bert. He is 36 seconds behind them. He's gone out rather wide. And going to turn in very quickly. He's going to nearly get that car up on two wheels. Car's looking in pretty good shape. Someone's going to have to do something about that. Can't get the car to go around and it be looking as clean as that. Sergeant Seaweed's car's looking pretty decent as well. The guy in 5th position is looking nice and beat up. There's a broken windscreen on that as well. Next to the corner line there, cuts through. Cuts through again. And a lot of drivers will stay to that left, but he should be actually cutting to the right to get down in that ditch where he's going now. And then a little bit of understeer as he comes around that cut. There's another car upside down. If that's Gallen's car, Gallen is on his roof. And that's probably Balaki giving him a hit. No, it's DK giving him a nudge to get him back onto his wheels. DK improves his lap time by 9 seconds. Still, and that's with a 2:40 lap time. 30's on the final lap. There's going to be a lot more corners to cut once we head to Circuit of the Americas for the next race. Don't forget, this race is all part of our fundraising efforts for Beyond Blue. If you or loved ones need any support, be sure to reach out to Beyond Blue. And you can make a donation to help Beyond Blue provide the service they do to those in need. Mental health is a big issue that is not commonly spoke about, so do get behind them so that they can continue to provide that service, being able to speak to those in need and actually referring them to get extra support. So we're very happy to be helping out and fundraise for Beyond Blue. Oh, that was a narrow call. That was very close. Billy's, I think that's near the pit entrance. Not sure if they actually were in the pits, but he's decided to go the wrong way. And he's lining up, Gallen, I think. The race is done. Dirty Monkey's just flipping down pit straight after crossing the line. Mark taking 2nd position, but he's got a little bit to go to catch up. He's got to get through sector 3, and then he'll be crossing the finish line. Sargent's facing the wrong way at the moment, and he's got someone coming in very quick and lining him up. Bang! Straight up the tail. I'm surprised he didn't take as much damage as he did. That's quite a tough Camaro. It took a solid hit to that tail, and all he's got is a little bit of loose chrome. Wakai's on the back straight. Oh, Birdie's still trying to get to the finish line. I'm pretty sure that's on the final corner, but he's had Gallen and Philly block him. It's a bit of a gauntlet at the final turn. Sitting there preying on cars as they come around. One of these being thrown around like a pinball down pit straight. DK or Balaki's just, that was Balaki, smashes it right into the side of Gallen. There's 60 seconds to get last laps done. I'm pretty sure they're going to just destroy each other's cars as much as they can. We'll probably right at the end of tonight's session as well. We'll probably change the cars around. We'll put full damage on with mechanical failures and just see how many cars will actually end up finishing the race with these cars going everywhere. Philly's being smashed several times. Balaki's hitting Gallen again, getting him back off his roof. 20 seconds remain. narrowly avoided by Mark. Black's just been flipped sideways, top to bottom, all the way down. He's been hit pretty hard. You can see the chaos that is of pit straight. That's 2 wins from Dirty Monkey. He's on fire and getting 155 lap times set by Marky Mark. So that's some phenomenal lap times to be getting in this car. So he's managed to find some great shortcuts on that track. So we'll be having a brief moment as we head back into the lobby just to set up for the next session. So we'll be having a 5-minute practice and then another 5-lap race, and that is at Circuit of the Americas. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a few minutes and then be back for more chaos in the Camaros. And we're back for session 2, so we're at the Circuit of the Americas now. The drivers will have 5 minutes practice to try and figure out those track limits ahead of the 5-lap race. And we are in USA for Circuit of the Americas GP. The track length is 5.51 kilometres, there's 20 turns. So that means there's 20 corners for these guys to cut. There's going to be a lot of chaos in here. These cars are a handful to get around on this track. They're not the easiest car to be driving around on. And once they start getting into a slide, it's usually well and truly over. So hopefully they can use each other's doors to straighten themselves out and make those corners. And we're in pit lane now. Cars will scramble out on track. And we've got Balaki heading out. I think that's where his car just down below, where it did disconnect in that last one. It's about 15 cars again. We've got Skitty joined us. He was in the chat. There's already Carnage going at the pit exit. Demo Simsel's car's being bounced around. He's spent more time in the air than he's spent on track already, and it's not even turn 1 of practice. And a lot of the drivers don't have a car reset button set on their steering setups. That means once they're on the roof, they're going to be stuck there until someone's kind enough to come along and ram them back onto their tyres. Which we saw Philly get stuck on his roof for most of the race. And then once he was finally turned around, he was back on his roof again. It's a solid hit. He just lined up Gallon by the looks of things. Was a huge hit, and here comes Camaro Simsel just narrowly avoiding. And my position board to try and change cars for the camera views is going haywire. Not sure who that is that's stuck over there. Gallon 350. Just gets around Philly as he quickly darts out to the right to try and get him as he goes around. And it looks like we've had Sami get disconnected beforehand. Not sure if he's had to just leave the session or if there was a disconnect going on. Hopefully, is that a DQ again? No, Birdie just got disconnected. Oh, a big hit. Balaki's just made a huge contact. That was with Gallon. Balaki was playing quite sneaky in the first race. He was hiding around the corners, waiting for unsuspecting drivers to come around, and he would just peek out and take them out. And Dirty and Mark just narrowly avoiding him a couple of times as they were getting out there. And Simo's car still being thrown up in the air. I don't even think he's gotten through the first sector of the track, and he's spent more time in the air. Where is he? I don't know, he's halfway through sector 2. He's flown most of the way, takes out those cones as he goes down. Not sure what's going on there. That's a solid hit. I think that was Balaki that he just took out. DK's gotten a little bit loose coming around the final corner. And for the drivers that aren't aware, going down pit lane in the race is actually quicker. It's a very good shortcut. Oh, DG was hiding at pit exit, waiting for cars to come around. You just missed DK. He is looking for some more victims on pit straight. And he was going the wrong way down pit lane when we saw him get disqualified in the first race. So the speeding in pits doesn't do it, however going the wrong way in there does. Birdie's managed to join back in. I think he's still able to get back in for the race. We've got one time on the board. Sergeant Seaweed gets in a 2-minute 40 for an opening lap. Oh, that's a solid hit. I think that was Balaki lining up a head-on with Wirra, but then Balaki's just been knocked back around and flipped over. Dirty Monkey's just been tapped and turned around. Bad Nate just misses Balaki. Loses it as he cuts through on the grass. There's plenty of spots to be able to cut on this track, however a lot of it's in grass and on the dirt, so it gets very loose in these things. And it's going to be even more so interesting once we get to Ruapunya Park, as there are lots of places to try and cut. However, there's going to be some cuts that's going to cost them dearly if they cut it too much, and they'll have to do another lap around. A bit of chicken going on between DK and Marky Mark. Was that Balaki? I think it was Balaki. He's now also going the wrong way down pit straight. There's a car coming. He just narrowly avoids him. I think that was Simo. He swerves to the side. There's a car that's just been shot up in the air. Is that Balaki's car or is that DK's car? Skitty was being thrown in the air as well. 79 seconds for drivers to do their final laps. There's going to be a lot of carnage around Kota in these cars for 5 laps. Cuts out and runs off wide. DG looks to give him a tap. And now they're on their cool down laps. There's several cars going down here. DG is probably going to be hit as well. Putting some burnouts down pit straight. And it's a 3-minute 23 lap time for DG. Billy's still doing some donuts. I don't know if that's Bad Nate or Gallen's car. That's Gallen in number 78. And I know the drivers trying to multitask, watching the stream as well. We had DK trying to load up the stream at the start of the race, and you'll see that's why he was stationary at the start of the rerun of the first round. And we have practice complete, ready for 5 laps of pure chaos around Circuit of the Americas. Only 5 cars getting a time on the board in the practice session, and it looks like the chat's working for them. So having the practice session must allow the chat for the in-game lobby for the guys, so they will be having a ball in there. So over onto the track now. And see how many drivers remember that they can just take off before the lights go green. I have Blakai starting from position 1, Wirra's also at the front. Gallen's tucked in behind Blakai. Sergeant Seaweed in behind Wirra. If you're just joining us for streams, don't forget you can also use those sound effects controls down underneath. Have a lot of fun with those. There's going to be a lot of the extra fun sound effects that are going to be very applicable to the racing tonight. It's usually good for all the big hits in the races. Oh, we've got it's from notice. Oh, it's Birdie. Yes, that didn't let you back in. Yeah, so you joined in. I think there was 50 seconds left of practice. Birdie missing the jump. He got into the session, but not for the race. There we go. Think up, and then it'll count down the lights, but they don't have to wait. They can go. A few cars deciding to wait. Sergeant Seaweed still stayed there. And I think that was Blackeye that stayed stationary, waiting, and he managed to somehow not get any contact made. There's huge cars going for flips down on turn 1. There's someone's bonnet just doing cartwheels down into turn 2. He's been hit a few times, he's spinning around. All the promotional banners on the side of the track all being taken out. But Lucky takes the lead of the race. He's flying ahead. Ooh, a little bit of lag going on. A little bit of a slip as well. Simo having some issues. It looks like someone's bonnet flying down on the track. Blackye's in third position. DK starting to catch up on Blackeye. Our gap times on the game are well and truly confused. They don't know what to do for timings. We're at side swipes out into DK's car, pushing him off onto the side. It gives him another nudge. They both go into a spin. They're pirouetting down the back straight. Whereas now facing the wrong way. DK gets away pretty cleanly. We have Simo and Dirty Monkey. Dirty's car looking pretty well beat up. He's had a good run on those first 2 races, managing to get away fairly cleanly. However, it's not the case for Circuit of the Americas. And the cameraman doesn't know where to look for Gallen's car currently. I don't know where it is. It's because he's well and truly off track. Gallen and DG having an altercation at the edge of that corner. Marky Mark getting a little bit loose, too much turn as he goes through the grass, cutting that corner. Larky was in the lead. He's now dropped back down into 12th position with Blackeye taking the race lead. He just crosses the line. That's the line there. So he's now on lap 2 and he's leading by 12 seconds. He may have a few cars going the wrong way though. I think there is a car going the wrong way. So whereas currently in second. Marky Mark crosses the line to start his next lap. So successfully getting through the first lap. That's a big hit. Gallen gets taken out by Simo. Just narrowly avoids Dirty Monkey. Sorry, I think that may actually... Skiddy's now going to do the rest of the track in reverse with DG swerving around him. Now somehow Skiddy is actually going quicker than DG and he's going to make a pass in reverse gear. It's like there's no mechanical failures on this thing here. That car would have been well and truly toast. I think he's going to try and do a whole lap. Oh, and he hits him big with the bonnet. He's doing a demo derby now, driving it backwards. Gallen in 8th position. Sargent's in the pits. Looks like he may be maintaining pit speed. Oh, if he has got auto pits set to the car, then he'll actually drive through under AI. Actually should be under manual. However, if he doesn't have the pit limiter set, it will automatically set it as you go into the pits, where this is the advantage to this track. If you don't have the pit limiter, so if you have a pit limiter button set, you can actually cut down through pit lane and will actually be a lot quicker to cut through and speed down pit lane, which I don't think anyone's actually done that. Mackay just taking the normal way. That's a huge hit, I think. Gallen giving Balaki a huge T-bone, and there's Kakadoo's car being destroyed and rolled down the track. He sets that car back on his way, cuts through. Mackay is on lap 3. That's Philly Manili going up along the inside. He's trying to chase down Mackay, but he's just sideswiped into the wall. Bit of understeer as he ploughed down through that corner. Bad Nate's on his roof. Being helped over by Balaki. Helping out back onto all 4 bits of rubber. Hear a lot of noise going on. Not sure Gallen's doing to his car. Must be doing a burnout or something like that. Here comes DG flying up. He's not going to make contact with him. Kakadoo comes up to start lap 3. Quickest lap times the 2:16s. He goes very wide to miss a car going the wrong way. A little bit of air as he cuts turn 1. DK's chasing down Marky Mark. They're going to battle it out for position 3. How dirty is he going to be? Is he going to turn in? No, he's under braking. Taking it cautious to try and cut that corner. We're going to see a little bit of... Oh, Sergeant Seaway just disconnected. DK Rush chasing down Marky Mark. Well, there's some cars going the wrong way that they've got to contend with as well. Oh, DK spins out. That's going to allow Mark to get away a little bit quicker. Cuts that corner nicely. Runs out a little bit wide. DK just gets turned around by Simo. That might have been Skiddy's car. Skiddy giving DK the tap, spinning him around, ruining his chance to try and close in. DK still having some trouble getting the car back on track. Gallen must just be trying to use the rest of his tyres. Have him but oh, it's a big hit. That Skiddy just giving him that contact. No, that must have been Simo. Lined up the side of Gallen's car. So we're in the lead for the race. He's on lap 4. Cuts nicely down through the S's. He's on for a flying lap. Cuts the corner. This is a very tricky one to cut. Lines it up nicely, otherwise he could have found himself facing head on into that wall. Gone for a very unconventional lap around Circuit of the Americas, courtesy of Wirra. Oversteer on that corner. That's a tricky corner as it is. Wirra leading by not 10 seconds now. There's a car upside down. I think it's either Kakadoo or Philly. He avoids him. There's 2 cars upside down. He's on the brakes. Is he contemplating going back and helping them? No, he's leaving on their own. Oh, he's got someone to contend with. I think that was Gallen or Bad Nate. Gallen's on his roof, and I think that's Philly that's also just sitting there with him. Someone's surely going to hit them. Only by accident as he was rammed into the Philly's car, but he still manages to somehow still be on the roof. No worries, Mick. Thanks for joining. Philly's going to get a nice friendly hit here from DG, who's looking to turn him around. Same as Gallen. There's a few more cars coming. Narrowly avoid him. Oh, he goes for a side swipe, but Gallen's gone flying up into the air. Is he back on his wheels? just. But he's going to get another hit again. DG and Gallen flipping in the air. Gallen now back on his roof again. Cameraman's all confused. We're well and truly confusing this game. It's not how it at all was intended for. Oh, and you could hear that crunch, the sound of breaking glass and panels being pushed in. That was a solid hit. Lakai in second position. He's really caught up on where he's now only 4.7 seconds away, and they're on the last lap. BK currently in third position. Giddy and DG still hanging around, making some contact, slamming Philly's car straight up. He's copping a complete thrashing. Our race leader is Wira. Like a couple are having to retire out. Dirty Monkey underway. Oh, he's got some lag going on. Anyway, giving Kakadu a few hits. Not sure if Kakadu's actually trying to make his way back out and complete a lap while getting pinballed around by the rest of them. Simo just patiently waiting for some unsuspecting cars. We had Balaki hiding around the corners waiting for cars. That's Wira, I think, that he's just taken. Yes, he's just flipped Wira over, so that means Blackai's in the lead, but he's also still got to get through the gauntlet of these guys. He's swerving left and right, cuts the corner trying to find a clean way through. So he's on the final lap, he could win the race. We're stuck on his roof. He was leading for most of the time until he got caught up on that final sector. He doesn't have a reset function, that means he can't turn that car back around. Gallen's up on the side of his car, he's trying to spin it around. And there's poor Philly. Philly and Gallen have been just sitting side by side to each other on their roofs for most of the race. And there we have Blakai crosses the line for a win. BK not too far behind in the end, 3.5 seconds. Marky Mark in third position, he's also got to try and get through. And there's Wira, he's just been flipped back over onto his tyres. That was Kakadu giving him a friendly assist. We're now able to get back on track and try and finish. He may have enough time to try and chase down Dirty Monkey. Can he steal a position away from him? Oh, I think Dirty may have just disconnected. Not sure what went on there. Oh, Marky Mark just misses that corner. I think as he's coming down onto pit straight. Oh, where is this gone for a big slide? He cut that corner a bit too much, slipping out. That also caught Mark out. Be enough time to get across. He's going to do a smoke show for us as he comes up to the finish line. It's actually not the actual finish line there, I don't think. The next line, it is quite tricky. There's a car coming straight for him. That was Dirty. That was a huge hit. Another huge hit again. That's Marky Mark lining up these cars. There's 10 seconds left. Someone was just airborne for a brief period. Gallen and Philly both back on their wheels yet again. Yeah, Dirty did disconnect right at the end there. Not sure what happened. Maybe Blakai dropped down into position. It looked like he was in for the win. The DK Rush actually takes the win. So we'll be heading into the third race. We'll be at Ruapunya Park, so we'll have a few minutes break as we load up that session, and then we'll be back for the final race. And then also jump in on the chat and actually say what you want to see us to do. So we were talking about with some of the drivers about changing car and putting some damage on, and we might just choose a pretty random track and make some conditions pretty rough, and just let us know what you think we could actually run. So stay tuned, we'll be back very shortly. we're back for the third round for tonight's Beyond Blue Camaro Carnage Cup, and we're over in New Zealand for Ruapunia Park GP. It's going to be very interesting seeing how the drivers figure out where those track limits are to be able to cut this track very well, as they could potentially see themselves end up doing a very long lap, as they do have to actually cross the line for those sectors. Otherwise, it's not going to count it as a full lap. Looks like we've had a few little disconnects. Dirty Monkeys just joined back in. Sims will having to do it. We've already got someone going the wrong way. I think that's Skitty starting to do a backwards lap. Nice broad slide. He's going for a drift. He's going to meet the other guys halfway through the lap. Dirty Monkey having some connection issues. Drivers trying to figure out where those best spots are to cut. Having to go the wrong way there. They'll be able to cross that line, do a U-turn and then come back across. And that means they've met sector 2 and he makes a huge hit with Balaki. Balaki now on his roof. Cutting across through the centre of the track. There's cars going in every direction all through the infield. It's bad, Nate. Dropped out as well, potentially. Not sure what's going on. Gallon looking for an opening to get a spot. And Dirty Monkey's still disconnected. And his car around just in time to be hit by Skitty. And he reversed straight into him. He's going to give him another nudge again. Not letting him get away too easily. Mikey sitting there waiting to block the path of cars as they come through. It's a solid hit between him and Wirra. He's now being flipped onto his roof. Bad Nate's having some issues. Ooh, a big hit from DG. It's pushed him back up on his side. Bad Nate's back in. Timo's disconnected. He's doing some doughies in the middle of the track. Dirty's back in. There should be enough time for him to be able to make the race start as well. Mackay cutting through. Gets a very nice line. You can see on the map where he's just come through, crossing the line for sector 2. Narrowly avoids Balaki as he comes around the final corner. Give him a time, it does give him a time, a 1:32. See how much he cuts this corner. He stays on track for this lap. Probably be able to start cutting across track now into the grass. That's going to put him into a slide as he tries to look for the next line. So this is where he now crosses sector 1. So now you just have to look for where sector 2 is. You can see that other orange line where there's a whole bunch of cars currently up near the pit straight. So if he starts turning right and cuts across the middle of the track now, all the way through the infield, now he's going to stay on track for a good while. He can actually start turning in and cut a huge amount of track. Oh, DG goes into a broad slide into the wall. Oh, where it gives Kakadu a shunt, but it only puts Wera into a spin. And these other drivers be able to get back in time, make the race start. 130 is somewhere there we caught up to him. Misjudges that a little bit too quick going down through turn 1. Got some circle work in the dirt. DK gets a time on the board, 136. Practice is complete. Hopefully drivers have gauged just where the best spots are to try and cut track. It's very loose. He's going to miss that first sector. See Blakai absolutely flying in around. Gets a big hit. The cockpit straight into the side of DG's cars, flipping him up and around. Skitty being pushed around by DG. Marky Mark gets in a 129. A very quick time. Look out for Mark. He seems to be really picking the spots for the shortcuts. And you see Blakai just narrowly avoid Wirra. There's a nice jump. The drivers could probably have some fun with in the middle of the track as well. Larky and Skitty trying to have a demolition derby in the middle of the track. And that's Philly doing some reverse circles. Just has the tail of Wirra slide around. Gives him a big hit, pushes him back into Skitty. Birdie trying to make a jump. That would have been. We can catch him in time. Throwing dirt everywhere. 2 seconds left, and then we're ready to head over into the race. We had a pretty quick lap time of 127.5 by Blakai Warrior. Coming through very quickly. It's going to be pretty easy to see. Simo got disconnected, so he's finishing up for the night. It's unfortunate, Simo. We've got 11 cars cause havoc around Rupunya. We can get a better view. Try and see the start. Might even go for an on-board shot for the start of the race. I'll start from the back end. Jumping on board with Skitty. Let's see just how he goes, trying to get through 10 cars, all pushing and shoving as the race starts. Yeah, ready to go. Oh, he's getting reversed into by Balaki. He's been hit, shoved hugely. It's almost dizzying watching him trying to get away. There's cars going everywhere at the start. The DK gets away pretty quickly. Oh, there's been a big roll at the back. That's DG. He's gone in for a big roll. That was a pretty solid hit by Kakadu. Billy's up on this side, and also Blakai. He's trying to get back around the right way, but he just keeps spinning out and being hit again. Where it gets a good lead, so he's cut straight through. No, Philly's just now up in the lead. He's found a better spot to cut. However, if he's cut too much, it could potentially be not classing the lap, and he just slides back in front of the rest of the cars, but drops down into 6th position doing so. Skitty's gone for a very big cut. You have to try and turn around, look for that next sector. He just gets scraped by someone's car. I'm not even sure whose that is. We're going way too quick. There's someone else's car being flipped around. We're back in the lead. He's trying to find just where he needs to go to have this lap count. DK and Bertie battling it out on the final corner. Gives him a tap and steals that position away, puts Bertie into the wall. Oh, there's another car going backwards, flirting down at him. I'm not even sure who that was. That was very fast. Billy's getting some air in the middle. Collides with that sign. Bertie gets into the lead, but DK still not far behind. He misjudges that corner, runs out wide. That lets DK sneak up into the lead. Narrowly avoids DG's car going the wrong way. DK looking to find where that first sector is. He's going to stop and wait for someone by the looks of things. What's he got contemplating here? There goes Gallen's car flying around. Lakai is waiting for Lakai. He's going to have some fun. He's going to give him a nudge off. No, he just wants to chase him down. Maybe he's looking to know where his shortcut is. Lakai narrowly avoids Gallen's car. He's swerving left and right. There's cars coming at him every direction. DK is looking pretty well beat up. Gallen cuts across nicely. He should be able to cut right after he turns off right. No, he's not going to worry about doing a lap. He's just going to go backwards. He's going to be meeting someone as a head-on. Just narrowly misses Philly's car. That means Philly is now on lap 2. Larky still on lap 1. Bad and Dirty Monkey both have to retire out. Well, Marky Marks has been flipped. He's back on his wheels again. DK back out in the lead. Lakai trying to get away from Mark. Ooh, car is that? I think that's Skitty's car that's just been shot up into the air. DJ doing circle work after making contact with Kakadoo's car, the looks of it. Mackay and Philly squeezing it out. Mackay cuts out across. Gets a big broad slide. He's been pushed out off onto the side of the track. Kakadoo's up in third position. Oh, a big hit. He's just been flipped. He's now on his roof. Birdie quickly gets around him. He does have car reset. That is quite handy. DK in the lead. Has just been nudged by Gallen. Gallen trying to prevent his win. Birdie thinking he'd get involved as well. Somehow DK still in the lead despite being bashed around so much. Birdie in third position. Kakadoo takes in the lead. He's got Gallen trying to get him. Kakadoo getting a little bit lost. Gets a little bit of egg over that jump in the middle of the tracks area. Oh, big hit from Balaki. No, sorry, it's... I guess that was Balaki. DK coming around the last corner, comes out into the straight now, taking out brake markers. Hackett is still in the lead. He's got Balaki giving him grief. Tries to get away really quickly. Those DKs flying up for him. And now Kakadoo's just dropped back, so he must have been held up. Balaki getting him stuck. Birdie did just get into the lead, but he's just been flipped over onto his roof. Will Mark help him out and push him back on his roof? He's just sitting there waiting. And he does have a reset, he just had to wait for a car to move away. Kakadoo's still trying to win this race. We just had DK decide to hit him over. Take that lead back. He was being kind and helping Lakai get back off his roof. However, he's now being ricocheted off several other cars. Hard for me to even actually find any of the drivers to pick, as they're changing so quickly up and down on that position board. It's quite crazy. Kakadoo does a beautiful cut there. That should be enough. It gets him into the... No, I don't think that lap counted for him. He may have cut a bit too much, so he's missed a sector. So he gives Skiddy a nudge. Starts turn 3, he was going to try and cut up through that gap. DK's flying out front at the moment. 34 seconds behind. We're sliding around on the grass. Did cross that sector, so he's now able to cut down. Facing the wrong way now, he's going to have to spin back around. He has Philly chasing him in reverse. I don't know, is that DK's car or is that Balaki's? Just made contact with Phil. Balaki's on his roof. I don't think he's got reset either, so he's going to have to wait for someone to come around and knock him back over. And we have Bertie leading the way. There's DK hooning up behind him, getting loose out in the grass. Trying to get that car back under control. He's got Skiddy to try and dodge. Skiddy smashes him back across, but it's actually helped him. That's pushed him in the right direction to cut that corner. Now there's a tyre rolling down on the track. Gets sideswiped by Philly. Now he's got Birdie coming. Birdie contemplated putting one into the side of him. We're having to navigate some tyres that are left on the track. Cuts through brilliantly. Now have to turn that around. This will be the finish for DK. It'll be a win, but he's got cars coming at him the wrong way down the finish line. Crosses the line for a win into a broadside into the wall. Mike's there blocking his way. He flips and spins down pitch straight. Here comes Birdie bringing up in position 2. Narrowly avoids a car. And he's had Skiddy sitting there, sneaking in, trying to find a spot to hide and jump out at them. Yeah, we did see disconnect there. No. There's cars every which way. Birdie's stuck upside down, as well as DK stuck there with him. DJ and Gallen facing off down the end of the straight. There's 58 seconds. Oh, Skitty's car's been hit pretty hard. Hear a burnout going on. His car, that is. Ooh, Philly just gets absolutely slammed. Rolls over, he's back on his tyres. We will throw in a real short, quick race at the end of this as well. We're going to throw something in with some snow and ice, and then watch and just do a quick little couple lap race just to finish up tonight. They've been having a lot of fun wrecking these cars. Yeah, TK it was, just smash the leader, get whoever is in the lead and prevent them from winning. Ru's car looking well and truly beat up. So the next quick little race we'll put on full damage of mechanical failures and just see how badly things go for them, and then add some blizzards as well and make it a little bit interesting. So we'll have a quick break and then we'll do that. And so do stay tuned, we'll be back very shortly. That does conclude our Camaro Carnage Cup. It's been a lot of fun seeing the guys have all that carnage in those cars. So we've just set it over. Actually, just realised I didn't put the full damage on. However, we are doing snow and blizzard in the Ford Focus Rallycross at the Silverstone Classic. So they're going to be having a lot of fun trying to get those cars under control around Silverstone under blizzard conditions. Going to be plenty of action to see. At least it's not going to be too windy for them to try and navigate through. Hopefully, I'm not too familiar with the track. There should be a fair few good spots to be able to cut corners. These cars are a big buzz box. Already making contact at pit exit. Now barging them. And this weather is currently only just snow. It's not blizzard conditions. It's going to be very tricky. Once they get into the race, it'll be under blizzard. This visibility is going to be shocking. These cars are a lot of fun to drive, especially in the ice conditions. Birdie's just disconnected. May have enough time. The car not wanting to go anywhere. It was just locking up. Brakes not having much of an effect on the ice. You can see another car going for a slide down that back end. That's a very fast slide. I'm not sure whose car that is. It's going to be hard to see whose cars are what in the footage. Gallen goes through some fences, narrowly avoids the tyre wall, only to find a safety barrier. Several other cars also finding that same spot, and there's tyre debris everywhere. Not making that corner, so there's 2.5 minutes for him to get used to the conditions. There's not a whole lot left to the back of Skiddy's car. As well as Balaki, it's quite heavily smashed. It's been in contact. There's a lot more car parts at least come off on these cars. That was a solid hit, ricocheting him off into the wall. Visibility quite bad. Gallen cutting that corner. Birdie's joined back in. Hopefully he's made it in time. And see how much Gallen is cutting the track. So there's lots of good spots to be able to cut the corner here because it's very open in the middle of the track. Scrapes up along the wall as he comes under the bridge. There's a car coming straight at him. It's going to be harder to try and steer away from an oncoming car whilst in the snow. Got that car stuck. Trying to stay within the track limits. The car sliding out just ever so slightly. Gallen gets a time on the board. Kakadoo's in with a 130. Staying well off track. Turns in, cuts the corner. Kakadoo seeming to really know the best places to cut corner here. Cameraman's expecting him to actually take the track there, but he's gone all the way through and cuts through. There's some heavy snowfall down in the middle of the track where he is. You can just see him coming through. They're not going to be able to see where they're going once it's blizzard conditions. There's 5 seconds remaining for the practice session. A lot more cars getting times on the board. Really sliding backwards. Oh, that's a huge big crunch. Not even sure who that was. DK has parked the car up. Gearing up, ready to have a crack under blizzard conditions. It was probably lucky that I did forget to put the full damage on for this. Otherwise, the cars probably would have been wrecked well and truly. He just goes flying through those tyres. 1:28 by Kakadoo. That's a pretty quick time. He turns in, barely cuts that corner nicely, just clips that wall, nearly able to cut through. There's 35 seconds remaining to get their last laps done. Car was just falling back from the sky, not sure what was going on. There's no one really around him to actually drop him in, so wherever he got airborne, he's actually doing jumps. Now we have practice complete. Driver's probably finding that rather challenging. Kakadoo setting a 1:28.3. That's a pretty quick lap time. And then now we have blizzard conditions. Probably not going to be in the best shot. So that is just how much visibility there is in blizzard. Grid positions are scattered all over the place. It's quite an interesting layout. There we go, we can actually get a better shot here. That one, definitely not. Bit of visibility here. You can see how iced over the track is. It's even more so than it was in the practice session. All drivers here ready, so we're ready to go. So there's 3 laps around Silverstone Classic. Off they go. Some of them still choosing to wait for the start. And they come flying up down pit straight. We can barely see them. They just come into view. And it is insane visibility. They don't even know where they are going. Jump on board with Kakadoo. His wipers only just slightly getting on him. He's just had Skitty tucked back in front of him. He's been tapped and turned around. Off he goes, disappearing into the pure whiteness. All drivers seem to be cutting the corner currently. The game doesn't even know where the cars are, and it's not planned for cars to cut that much of the track. And Gallen currently in 3rd position. He's looking for a spot to cut through. Birdie unable to get through. You can't even see where he's going. It's nothing but a wall of white. Oh, a solid hit. Broken windscreen's going to cause a lot more problems trying to see where he is. There's only just a tiny smidgen of his car. He loses that front bar by the look of it. Marky Mark somewhere in that blizzard. In here, squealing of tyres. Where is he? He's coming through. He's just gone through a wall. Straight into those tyres. It's a pretty solid hit. You can see how iced the roof of his car is. Just up ahead of him is Kakadu. He's going to drift out, give him a tiny tap, pushes Kakadu out into the wall. Yeah, the pop and crackle of those Milo 10 sounding exhaust. They are a lot of noise. Marky Mark doing well, cuts that corner. You can see Skitty just up ahead. He's going to try and start turning the car a little bit more to get back on track as it's starting to turn right. Brilliantly lines it up back onto the track, carrying some big speed. We can't even see where he is. There is very bad visibility, so on board with him. Turns across. You can see on the map he's trying to cut that corner. Right back down onto the back straight. Oh, as the car comes straight towards him. He's cutting again. Hugging that wall as much as he can. This is why we're not seeing him on the camera, because the arrow on the map is in that green section of track. So they're cutting huge amounts of track. The track is quite good for the shortcuts. He's back on track now. He is hidden in that blizzard. We can just see a silhouette of his car as he cuts down through the S's. Coming out onto pit straight now. Marky Mark leading the way. Kakadu in second position. Barely see much of the paintwork on his bonnet. It is completely iced. Windscreen heavily damaged, making visibility that much harder. Mark out in the lead. As we get onto the chase view, you can't actually see that much far ahead. Only seeing about 100 metres up ahead. Very nice slide. Down to the bumper of Mark's car. He's leading over Kakadu by 3.8 seconds. Cuts that corner nicely, disappears off into the snow. It's under the bridge, he's in there somewhere. Kakadu narrowly avoids that wall. There we are, the race is done. Marky Mark spinning the car around and around as he crosses the line. Kakadu also finishing the race. This is that tyre wall section that we've seen them try and navigate through. Oh, there's cars coming for him as well. Not the only obstacles. Allen in third position. Got about 12 seconds before Skitty catches up. We may even be able to have all cars finish, perhaps. Oh, he's just been shunted. DG pushes Skitty out of the way to take fourth position. Can he maintain it to cross the line? Just steals that position away from him. Dirty move, tap right at the end. It was very well timed. Bukai is battling it out with DK, but I think he's just spun DK around, so it's going to allow him to get away. DK is stuck. Bad Nate lines him up and gives him another tap. Poor DK having some trouble. Every time he just gets that car going the right way again, there's someone else to give him a hit. There's no one behind him now, so he's in the clear. Got 3 seconds to get across the line. there we have the end of our special event for tonight, and that was all because of our viewers and members and family members all donating to Beyond Blue. So that's what has been the reward for reaching our first goal. So if you want to see some more carnage, do dig deep, throw a donation towards Beyond Blue. Use that link, fundraise.beyondblue.org.au/Apex Esports League. If we get to the 450 mark, we'll be holding a demolition derby, and then that will be very exciting. So it'll be full damage, and it'll be last car to be running. So plenty of action to see for that, so do donate to Beyond Blue. It's a great cause to get behind. So thanks for joining in for the stream. We will be back with our normal racing on Monday night with iRacing, and that is the Beyond Blue Formula V Championship, and that is round 4. So do hit that follow button if you haven't done so yet, so you can be notified when we go live. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you trackside again.